I am Pina Crispo, and I'm not that mom. And my special guest today is my good friend, the beautiful, the amazing, the super talented Toronto sweetheart. Of course, I'm talking about Jennifer Valentyne. Jen, how are you?
Oh, I'm wonderful. Even though I see you all the time, it's nice to see you through this screen. We're doing a podcast together. Well, I'm not here all the time, but I'm your guest.
I know, Jen, we have not been behind the mic together in years, sadly, and it's not because of us, but it's
No,
been years. And I've really,
too
really
long.
missed you in this world.
Me too. Nothing you can do can tear me away from Pina, from
Oh, Jen, I love
Pina.
it. I love when you serenade
Nothing will
me.
tear us apart.
So, Jen, like, I know what you've been up to because you just said it. We see each other all the time. We are really good friends. We hang out, we have like our sessions on our phone calls, but this, like I said, this is the first time that we are behind the mics together in a very, very long time. So, like, maybe share with everyone, what have you been up to? What are you doing? What's going on?
Well, you know that you're good friends with somebody when you wear similar shirts, like, the
Oh my
black
God.
and white checkered shirts. Mine's a little fancy though. I've got some
Mine's
ruffles. But
not.
what have I been up to? Social media. That's what I do now. So every platform, and I am a content creator. I don't like the word influencer. Never
Neither do
have, but
I.
I
Ugh.
create content online. But most of us do these days, and this is an amazing world for businesses, for moms that, are off on mat leave. I see
Yeah.
moms online. They are advertising products. They are doing links. They are singing and dancing and cooking and doing whatever they do that makes them happy, their talent. And that's what I'm doing. I'm cooking. I'm doing some hacks, cleaning, singing, that kind of
Yeah.
stuff.
Arts and
Hanging out with my
crafts.
daughter, yeah, arts and crafts and a lot of seasonal decor. I remember, when I was faced with out a job, what was I going to do? And my husband said, "Well, who do you want to be online?" And I knew right away. I knew that I wanted to do lifestyle. I love to cook, but I'm not the best
Yeah.
cook. So isn't that great? If I can do it, anyone can. My recipes are extremely simple, and I do what I've always done away from the cameras because I was in broadcasting for years,
Yeah.
radio and television my whole entire life. And what did I do behind the scenes? What I'm doing right now online. So I knew immediately what I wanted to do. And seasonal decor, I love decorating and I love holidays. And I love hanging out with my daughter and we do some fun stuff too. And dance trends and it's a great thing for people across our country and across the world to be able to do something online and hopefully make it a career if that's what you want.
Yeah, and make people smile and make people happy, I think is the big, big thing. I love watching you do your thing. I love watching you and Georgia do your thing together as mother-daughter date. You guys always have me laughing and smiling and just so proud because I'm like, those are my friends. I love them, right? So I love it. I love it. And you forgot to mention something else you do. You said you do the decor, you do the food, you do all this stuff. But you make some awesome little cocktails.
Yeah. So I don't really drink. We've been out together. You and my daughter will partake in a nice little cocktail. But I truly believe if you are going to be a good server, a responsible server,
Oh,
that
you
you need
that's a
to
trick?
make sure everything's okay. Yeah, years ago I was in a car with someone who'd been drinking too much and there was an accident involved and it could have been worse, and I didn't have my license, so I was the only one that wasn't drinking. And from that point on I decided to get my license. And even though I drank a little growing up, really I was that person that was the designated driver. And I always say that's why my husband married me, because he wanted a
Is
designated driver for the rest of his life.
See, Greg is a smart man. He's a smart man. He scored huge with you, let me tell you.
I think so. I
Huge.
think so. But I
So
love to go to parties and make the drinks and, make sure that everybody gets home safely. I'm the person that you can call at any hour of the
that's
night and I'll
true.
come pick you up.
You are our mama. No
Yes.
matter who is there, no matter the age group, Jen puts on the mom hat. She's like, I am Mama Jen, and I'm gonna make sure everyone's safe and everyone's happy and everyone's good. And I love that about you. So Jen, I don't
Whenever I create a drink, I will go into my daughter's room and I'll knock on her door, or my son, and I will say, "Can you drink this? Let me know what you think."
well, I love it. I love it. And I want more of that content, please. And thank you. But Jen, okay,
Yes.
let's get into stuff. What are we going to talk about? When I was like, Jen, I want you on the podcast. We have to get back on and like together and do something. It reminded me of the days we used to do the special edition shows where we would talk about anything and
Mhm.
nothing all at the same time. And it was amazing. Do you remember those days?
We didn't know what we were going to talk about. We just
Nothing.
talked. It could
I
have
know
been
you,
whatever what was going on that day. I Something crazy may have happened.
right?
Thank you for just getting me off the couch, putting on some makeup and some nice clothes. I chipped my
No, let's
nail.
see. Let's see.
Just a little. So I had to take, when you take the nail polish and you just have to do a little dab
Yes.
on the tip. It's
It's
never
never the
perfect.
same. It's never. But is that a Gen manicure or did you go get your nails done? This we got
Oh,
to talk about. I got
it's
to
a
put
Gen
this down.
manicure.
Oh,
It's a
Jen,
Gen
that's really
manicure.
nice.
Really? Thank you.
Yeah, I'm wearing a light pink too, but I'm like growing out right now.
Oh,
So
you do a
I'm,
gel.
yeah, I do a gel overlay. So they're my nails. They're not fake, but I'm due. I'm due.
Yes.
But I also went with the pale pink,
I think
you
you do.
know?
I love the color of your nails. Like it's almost like it's a white pink. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it is, for anyone wondering. It's OPI, Jen. Let's be
Uh-huh.
friends. Isn't that a cute
Oh, is
name?
that the color?
Yeah, let's be friends.
Okay, if I'm going to do gel, I do two.
Oh,
And
what
you
do you
can also
do?
get the one color I do marshmallow.
Okay, yes, that is
You
such a
know
Jen color.
marshmallow?
Yes.
Marshmallow is a gen color, but my favorite is romantic.
I don't know that one. Which one is that one?
I think it is, I don't know the brand, but if you go and you ask for romantic, if you go to where your gel nails
But
place,
no, what color is it? Like, is
it's a
it?
very, very light pink. Not as light as yours, but it is a light pink. Check it out. It might be too pink for you,
I
though.
might be. I only do four colors.
I
I'll
know.
do Let's Be Friends. I'll do Lincoln Park, which is that deep, deep purple, almost black. I will
Uh-huh.
do Funny Bunny, which is a white. I'm
Yes.
thinking next round might be Funny
And a
Bunny
red,
time.
right?
And my red Thrill of Brazil, Jen. You're the red lipstick. I also enjoy my red lipstick, but my red nails, come on, it's a classic,
And
right?
I am a red lipstick girl, and some people say, believe it or not, that when you're a certain age, you shouldn't be wearing red lipstick.
Who
And
said
you know what?
that?
I've had people say that online, and I'm like,
No, people
yeah,
said that to you?
people say things all the time. Come on, Pina. And you know what I
I
say?
know, fuck you.
Make it darker and bigger. And
Jen would never say fuck you. That's Pina. And then when I talk like that, she's like, Pina, Pina. Um, it's so
oh,
true.
oh, oh,
What?
if you're into astrology, and I never was, and I don't know if I really am anymore, but if you're
What?
into astrology, because you're on TikTok and all the other platforms, you
Yeah.
can't get away with it. People
No, you
talk about it all the
can't.
time. And now
Yes.
I'm starting to get sucked in. Are you?
Oh
Are you?
my gosh. These tarot with the tarot card people too? Are you talking
Yes.
about that as well as like the stars aligning and the planets and the astrological signs? Yes, get it all.
And what is your sign?
I'm an Aries.
I'm a Gemini, and apparently Aries and Geminis make the best of friends.
You know what?
I
We were
believe it.
I believe it too. We were kind of talking about this last was it last week? When did we go for lunch?
It was last week.
So we were talking about this because my dad was a Gemini,
Uh-huh.
my sister is a Gemini, and my man is a Gemini, and my Jennifer Valentine is a Gemini.
I think there's some truth to that. My sister is a Gemini, and she is one of my best friends. And I really think that no, I'm a Gemini. Sorry, she is an
An
Aries.
Aries.
But I really think that there's something to it.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm not questioning it. When they say something like that to me, I'm like, yeah, totally, 100%. Um, Okay, Jen, you
Yes.
sent me a list of
I
things that
It
we
was
could
just
maybe
things
talk
I
about.
was
No, no, let's go through this and see, okay? Because this is if anyone is wondering what Jen is like in real life, what our relationship is like, this is it right here, okay? So let's see. By the way, can we just look at this beautiful picture? Jen.
Aw.
I'm like, I need a headshot because my producer Sarah always says, Peanut, get the headshot and the
Uh-huh.
bio. So that was Jen sending it to me. And
I
she
said
also
that video.
emailed it to me because you're so thorough like that.
Yeah.
But
Better
let's see, let's see.
quality.
Oh,
Oh, I was gonna say that headshot was taken if you live in the Toronto area. If you do, under the Gardner Expressway, there's a little spot there where there's all
lovely.
graffiti all over, the big, huge pillars that hold up the Gardner. So if you go down there, that's just one, but there's other areas too that we did professional shots. My husband just took our camera, went down, we took a bunch of headshots with a couple of different outfits. I highly suggest that place for headshots. You can't see the
Guys,
graffiti, but we also took some at a different angle where
beautiful.
there's,
Let's see.
yeah,
There you go.
it's
Jen
great.
with photography advice and location advice. But hold on, I'm looking at this list of things you said. Maybe we could talk about this stuff. And the first one, I was like, what does she mean by this? Secrets? You said this is on the list of things to talk about. The first thing you wrote was secrets. What the hell are
Secrets.
you talking about?
Because I am a good secret keeper, and I think you
Oh,
I think both are. I can keep a secret, and we're not going to talk about what the secret is, but I just want people to know. Now you know. It was proven to you that I am a good secret keeper.
yes, I can. I'll. We'll give them a little bit of background.
We'll just give them a little bit, but I
So
didn't tell my daughter something.
yes. So basically, we were out at lunch and I was talking to Georgia while Jen was doing her thing. And by her thing is she's like the social butterfly going around to everyone. Hello, 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 hello. And so I'm there talking to Georgia because I'm somewhat of a social butterfly, but then I like to just gonna chill right now. And something came up and I mentioned it to Georgia and she's like, what? I didn't know this. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm like, your mom knows every single juicy detail of that evening. And she was like,
Went out for the evening,
what?
just to give a little bit more context. We went out for the evening, the three of us, and we spent the whole entire night together, but something happened, and my daughter didn't know what happened, and I never told her. And then you decided to tell her a year later.
No, I was like, was it 2 years?
two
It was like a
years.
few.
Yeah. So
Oh
I'm
my,
a good
you held it for, whoa,
I
Jen.
would never tell. If I say I won't tell my husband, I won't
Yeah.
I won't
And
tell my husband. I know he
we,
has secrets from his friends, and I'm okay with that.
yeah, and we are super, super loyal. And we always talk about how loyalty is so important in a friendship. And I'm like, Jen, you're so loyal. And I am so loyal to you. And that's, I think, what makes like our bond so strong.
Uh-huh.
But you proved it. You did not tell Georgia, which that was something you could have told Georgia. But for mom reasons,
I actually
she
didn't want
didn't.
Georgia to know.
Because I am Georgia's Auntie Pina.
Yes, you're Auntie Pina.
And not always a positive or good influence.
Exactly. But there are some people that some people you can use people. If you know that they tell secrets and you want your
Ooh.
secret to get out, you tell them
Oh,
because
yes.
they'll tell everyone.
I love.
We all
I
have those people, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. I think we've partaked in some of those moments together where we're like, okay, we just need to like say this in front of so and so and just sit
Everyone.
back and watch it play out. You know what that reminds me of too? Because we do enjoy that. Um, there was one other thing that we enjoyed doing, and we have not had the honor of doing this, ooh, in like 5 years.
Yeah.
So when Jen and I were doing the radio show together, there was always an elevator, and this elevator would
Oh,
either
people are
go
gonna
up.
think we're so bad.
I don't care. It's coming out now. You want to know the truth? I'm going to give you the truth. Jen and I are coming clean with the elevator, okay? So I'm telling them, Jen, a chorus,
Go ahead.
okay?
Go
A
ahead.
chorus radio. There was two elevators, okay?
Mhm.
So these
Yeah.
elevators either went up to the offices, but there was one elevator that would go down to the parking garage. So after we were done the show, we
Mhm.
would, you know, which elevator to hit to go down. So
Yes.
we'd press the button to go down, and everyone's always scrambling because we would kind of finish around lunchtime. So people would be like, you know, in and out
You
of the
need the
building.
elevator.
You need the elevator.
You need the elevator.
So Jen and I would get in the elevator going down, and we
The
we
only one
knew
going down.
we knew this one is only going down. And
Mhm.
people wouldn't know, and they would come in thinking that it was going up. And Jen and I would do this like little like nudge with our elbows. We do it. We're like, look at this person. They think they're going up. No, they are going down.
Went up and down, but there was only one elevator that went down. All of the rest of them went up, but this one went down and up. So they did come into the elevator, and
In
they would
order to go up,
assume
you needed to go down.
we needed to go down. And we got a
Yeah.
little conversation. We met somebody new in the building. We always inevitably, and you never knew. And then we would get to know them on the way down to the parking garage. And then we would see them in the hallway. You see, so it's kind of a nice story. And then we could say, hey, Joe, hey, Alice, because
See?
we had that little bit of a
And
maybe
this is,
upset at first, but then they'd be happy that they had to go down.
yeah, because they're like, oh no, I'm going down. We're like, oh yeah, sorry, we're going down to the
Oh,
parking.
sorry, you didn't know?
But here's Jen, who always
Their
like
way of meeting people in the building.
makes see there's it's, you always look for the positives, you know, where I was just like I just wanted to be like evil and bad, and I'm like, no man, yeah, you're gonna come down with us and you're gonna waste 2 minutes of your life.
When
And
they
Jen's like,
realized
and
the
then we made
elevator almost
friends.
closed, they went, no, no, no. And they tried to put their arm out. It was just too late. You're
And it was
going for a
so
ride
good.
with us.
It was so yeah, you know what, like honestly, I think looking back, those people probably had the time of their life. Those 2 minutes are like, man, I'll never forget that moment with Pina and Jen in the
Jen,
elevator. Maybe not, but we can pretend. We can pretend. Okay, let's see what else is on
what's your
this.
name? What department do you work in? We asked them questions. It was our way of getting to know people in the building. We knew more people than
So
anybody.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did. It was so good. Okay,
We did.
hold on. What else do we? Oh, girl lunches is on the list, Jen. Girl
Because I think
lunches.
it's important because sometimes we put things off. Like, how many times do we say, we're going to get
Oh,
together?
God.
Oh, I'm busy, or this person's busy, and it's never going to work for everyone. Put it on the
Yeah.
calendar. Whoever can make it can make it. If they can't, they'll make
Yeah.
it to the next one. I just think after we had that girls' lunch, and I didn't know everybody, and I got to know some people that I'd never met before. But I really truly feel that it's just so empowering when women get together, ideas are shared. Um, they just the positive energy, women supporting women, and I just think we shouldn't wait a year to have these lunches.
I
And
know it's
and
so
don't put them
true.
off.
And you know what? Like, and Jen is talking about a lunch, the one where The Secret came out with Georgia. And that was a lunch that our girlfriend Joanne puts on at least once a year. And she's amazing. There was like over 30 of us there, I think.
Yes.
It was beautiful. All these women come together. Some you know, some you don't. You make new friends.
Yeah.
We made a friend,
Her name's Jackie.
Jackie, and she has a podcast
Hmm.
about menopause. And her account is the number two, dot and then zero. And
She has a
everyone,
podcast about menopause.
yeah, and everyone left the lunch, and the three of us were standing there, and just like shooting the shit, getting to know each other. And she was just a kick-ass girl. So that's why these lunches are so important, because you get to meet new people, you get to catch up with your old friends, and you get to share some laughs and some great moments together. And if you're lucky enough, Jen will spot someone famous and make you go back into the
Oh
restaurant
gosh.
to check to see if it is the creator of White Lotus.
Wasn't the guy was sitting there and it looked like the creator of White Lotus, and it wasn't. And I made you go back in and I
I went
swore
back.
it was him, and it wasn't. Why would
But
he be in
wait,
Toronto?
can I just tell you, this
Yeah.
is what happened. We're walking out of the restaurant, the three of us, but Jen didn't do a double take, a triple take. That was a like, what would eight takes be? Because You literally, this was Jen walking past the booth.
No, I thought it was him. He's on that fun fact. The guy was also in School of Rock, I think.
But it wasn't that guy.
No, it wasn't that guy. It wasn't that guy. But I made you go and look. Thank God, because I didn't want to do it. But speaking of Jackie, what I loved is that she's all about menopause, and she gave me some great links and gave me some great suggestions because I'm really having a hard time.
Are you?
And I am. I am. I'm up in the middle of the night, Pina. I have a fan.
No.
Look, like right now. I don't know if you can look, right now I have a fan just in case. Because it's either this or I have to run outside because I get really bad hot flashes.
I like this look though. Come on.
Okay, no, hold on. Let's just
I kind of want this look.
who doesn't? I'm just gonna take this fan with me everywhere. It's pretty fantastic. But so I've been binge watching shows on Netflix. Hacks, amazing. I've just gotten into that because I'm up
Oh, I
at two
gotta
in the
watch.
morning by myself. But you know what else I've done, Pina?
What?
I don't know if I told you this. I have okay, so years ago, about 10 years ago, I really got into my family tree, all the
Yes.
ancestor stuff. And I had a family tree. I actually went to Ireland and we did research on my family in Belfast, all on my mother's side. And I got to talk to some of my family and they were so excited. And I went to my Nana's house and all that stuff.
I
But
remember that trip.
yeah, I really wanted to find out about my dad's mom's side because she grew up as an orphan. She never knew who her mother and
That's
father.
right. Yes.
So she she looked at the name on her birth certificate. She went back to England. I mean, listen, she had an amazing life. She said it didn't bother her like it would maybe some other people because she had such an amazing life that she went back, she looked, she never found anything out. We tried to do research. I did so much research about 10 years ago, but now the DNA is coming into play. So
Really?
I decided to go back on and take my DNA, and you are not going to believe it.
You're
I don't have,
Italian like me and we're cousins.
no, but I wish. But I have some German in me, which I was kind of shocked about.
Whoa.
And I always thought I was German in another life, so really kind of not surprised. But through the DNA, through the family, because it will match you up with first cousins, second cousins, third cousins, fourth cousins. If they're your fourth cousin or your third cousin, it's really hard to find someone.
Yeah.
But I found a first half cousin once removed. So it would have been my dad's
Whoa.
first half cousin. And you are not going to believe this because people put their photos online. So from back in we're going right back to the 1700s, but in the early 1900s, people put photos of themselves. There weren't a lot. There were maybe, a few of each family because photos were a big
Yeah.
thing. And in and amongst the photos of the family, I had already guessed it, actually. I had guessed the whole thing. Was a photo of my grandmother in someone else's tree with who I believe is her father. I haven't let the family know yet because I might send them a message. And if they don't want to know, that's okay too.
Hmm.
Because these kind of things can be awkward, but it was so many years ago. But everything started to make sense
That's
because
so
my
cool.
grandmother grew up in a farm. And I don't know if anybody cares about this stuff, but my grandmother grew up in a farm and she was very well taken care of. So somebody was paying for her to be on the farm and somebody paid for her education at a
That's so
boarding
cool.
school. So there was somebody that was paying for her. And I found out everything. In my mind, I have connected the dots and I feel I do know the story. But I think when I message that person and say, that's my grandmother, I think they'll freak out a little. Even though,
That would be
you know,
so cool.
this would have been my this would have been my great grandfather. So it's not that far off.
No,
It's
it's
not
not that far.
like my great grandfather. This is just my great grandfather. So yeah, so I've
So
sent it to a couple
this
members of the family, and it's pretty cool.
so this is what you're doing while you're up at night going through the menopause.
Yes.
The awful parts of menopause that you cannot sleep.
Yeah. And now I'm on to her mom, which is really hard. So I'm doing the DNA because the DNA breakdown will tell you every place that you are from. No Italian, nothing.
What,
Not,
Jen?
uh, no, nothing.
I want you to be Italian like me.
I,
Well, whoa, what if I do it and I've got some Irish in me?
you could.
I do like Jameson Irish whiskey. Maybe that.
Y- You know what? Do it. The only thing is, if somebody does something that is really bad in your family, like
Oh, then you get that part too.
break one of the commandments, they will find you. So now that I've done it, um, it doesn't even have to be me. It could be just somebody from my family. The police can go in, check your DNA, narrow it down to, so many people, and then they'll wait outside your house, and then they'll take a cup from your, garbage or something, test your DNA, and you'll be arrested. So that's the only thing. So don't do anything bad or anybody from your family because they'll get you through the DNA.
Oh my gosh, the scandal too. I kind of like a little bit of scandal,
I like a
you
little
know?
bit of scandal. Yeah.
Act
No scandal here, so I'll have to update you on how it goes. But that's what I've been doing.
and I wanted to ask you about Dateline because
Oh,
you like that show,
because
don't you? Do you watch that too when you can't sleep at night?
yes, I watch it. You should not watch true crime before you go to bed. That's probably why I can't sleep too.
Well, let me explain.
Okay.
I saw a little reel that was on the mother-daughter date account.
This is regular me talking about true crime.
So Georgia is in the car with her mom. Jen, you're driving,
Uh-huh.
and you were just talking about Dateline and true crime and some of the recent episodes that you've watched.
Uh-huh.
But there was one line in that whole reel that really got me, and that was when you said like, "But in the end, at least I guess when we're all in heaven, we can at least be together."
We'll all be reunited in heaven, which I truly
I
believe.
was like, "That is so Jen."
Well, I'm going to tell you, as much as I love true crime, I hate true crime. I
Me
hate the
too.
fact that it exists. I hate the fact that I think I would have been a great detective, but I think it would have ruined my life. I get very emotional. I cannot believe that there are people that have never done anything wrong in their whole
I
entire
know.
lives, and then they unalive a family member, their wife, their husband, their lover, whoever, and they think they're going to get away with it. But I just think to myself, this is all we have. For goodness sake, just get a divorce. Or
Right?
like it upsets me so much, and I just think to myself, why I wish, as much as I am invested, I wish it didn't exist. That there was no content. But when you realize that, because if you watch a lot of YouTube as well, because there is true crime in all parts of the world. So there's Australia, there's England, there's so much of it that it really becomes a little bit depressing. So I think they should do PSAs on social media and on television stations and radio stations to please be good people. I mean,
That would be nice. That would be nice. But would it happen? I don't know. Like, you know what I mean? Let's get real here. But I am like you where it's like that stuff really gets to me. So I try to avoid it
yeah,
because then my brain starts going, the overthinking starts to go, and it's like, well, what if? What if? And then I create these scenarios that don't even like exist, but now in my mind they are factual, right? It
yes.
keeps me up at night where, you know what? I decided I like my little bubble and it's so safe and it's cozy in here and everything's coming up roses and we've got rainbows and lollipops and it's fantastic because I want to avoid that shit.
So that in politics, probably. We want to avoid all of it, which
Bingo, you nailed
sometimes
it.
is unavoidable. But it is like, I just think about the world. Now we're getting really deep, but I just don't understand why everybody doesn't want everyone to be happy.
I know, I don't get it. It's so dumb. It seems like such a simple concept.
Yes, why do we care how other people want to live their life? Why do we care? I've never really kind of understood it. And I know religion plays a big part of
Yeah.
things, but I just don't understand, why don't you just want people to be the happiest that they can be?
Right?
That's plain and simple,
I
and
don't.
to get a divorce before you do something that is, because you're
Stupid.
going to get caught. Sorry.
The
Your
lies
DNA is going to get,
always come out. Yeah, the DNA.
and I should
The
have been a
police are going to come through your garbage. take that, compare it to the genetic testing, and boom, you're in jail.
Or telephone calls or somebody, it's, there's
I
always
know.
some,
You know what? No, it's true. Honestly, it's such a simple concept. Like, I always thought, you know what? Mind my business. Mind my
yeah,
business. Do my thing. What I'm, all I have is control over what I can do. So
yeah.
make sure that it's good. Make sure that it's good. Make sure that I'm not harming anyone along the way. And I just want to be happy. And if everyone just went along with that, the world would be such a better place.
I agree, but it's not going to happen.
But you can, no, it
In
won't,
our world, we'll spread the word. We're
right?
spreading the word.
Jen, maybe you should do some PSAs for social.
Maybe.
And we'll start, oh my God, Jen, we can start a GoFundMe where we can
Yes.
raise money for these PSAs so we can like boost these posts.
Yes.
Oh my God, maybe we're onto something here.
You never know, it might work. But then those shows would be like, well, like we're getting
You're killing
more
our vibe here.
follows and we're
You're
getting
killing our vibe.
advertisers. Why why are Pina and Jen ruining our business by
Oh my
spreading
God.
this word? They
Jen,
will,
do you think
then
that they
they'll
would
come
come
after
for?
us.
Yes, I was gonna say maybe they may come after us,
Right. Keith
and that's a
Morrison.
true crime.
Jennifer. No. You know what? I love Keith Morrison. I know Keith Morrison would mind. I think he's right on board with us.
You know who else you
He's a good
love?
guy, that Keith Morrison.
Okay, well we can talk about Keith, or we can talk about your secret love that I have not heard about in a very, very long time.
John Bon Jovi?
Jamie. Oh,
Oh,
Jamie. The Scots. The Scottish man from
oh,
what the hell was that show?
Outlander.
Oh my God, Jen, you used to
I
love
used to,
him.
yeah, I did. I still
No.
do. Come on.
You,
I was
yeah.
in Scotland and I went to the Bagpipe Festival in Scotland. And the
Did you look for
next day,
Jamie?
he- I did, but was he going to be at the Bagpipe
No,
Festival
because he's a character in a show.
in Glasgow? No, but he was there the next day.
What?
Yes. Yes.
No, Jen, you missed
Yes,
him by a
Jamie was
day?
there at the Bagpipe Festival. And I was like, so he was there the day after I was there, and I went on the day that it rained. Why did I not go the next day when it was
Oh,
somewhat
Jen, you
pleasant
missed
in
Jamie.
Scotland? I
Is
know.
he
But speaking of Scotland, guess who's going to Scotland? Maybe she'll see Jamie.
Georgia?
Georgia, she's going to Scotland.
I should
She's
go with
going, she's
her.
going to Ireland, Scotland, England, Paris.
Does she need a wing woman?
Yes, she would love it if you went. She invited me, but
Are you gonna
yeah,
go?
we're gonna drop everything and just go to the Europe.
Why
And then
not,
going,
Jen?
and she's going to Holland to see family because my
Oh,
husband
yeah, she told me about that too, and I'm so happy she's doing that because
too.
I know that her Opa just passed, and my condolences, Jen.
Yeah.
And so she wants to go and see where he like grew up and stuff, right? Or where the family was
Uh,
from. So I
well,
think
she's
that's
there,
great.
but she
I've
was
been.
only 4. She was 4. Oh, you've been to Holland?
Yes.
Oh, I know where
Jen,
you
hold on.
live.
Like, I was just gonna say, like, Jen, is that like so much of a shock that I've been there?
No, it's not a shock. You mean when it wasn't legal here? You go to Holland.
Exactly. And so, you know, um, I don't, what do you think Georgia's gonna do there? Do you think she's gonna partake in any extracurricular activities?
No, I don't.
Well, Jen, she does
I
love,
actually don't because it is legal here and she doesn't participate. Honestly, I think I told you I was at a party the other night and we were
oh, yes.
joking because at the bar they had drinks, but they also had a big mason jar. I think I sent you a
Yeah, you
photo
sent me a picture, of course.
of
She
it
saw
was
it and she's like,
filled with,
Pina.
and I'm like, I'm such a loser. And people were partaking. Was Jennifer? No.
No,
Why?
no, no, you're,
I
yeah,
don't know her. You know
we've
that.
had these convos, but I know that Georgia loves the theater. And when I was there, I also frequented the theater and I went
Mm.
and I watched a special kind of theater production.
Oh, there?
Mm.
Yes, I know. I know what you're talking about. The red light district?
Yeah, so I went in and I took a seat in a theater, you know, folding
Yeah.
down chairs, and they asked me if I wanted a glass of wine or a beer, and then I watched a live sex show.
How was it?
It was weird.
Was it?
Jen, Jen, they had this bed in the middle of the stage and it just revolved at like this weird speed.
And
And
like
so
I
you
always wonder
saw,
to be serious about it though, like I mean they have to perform those shows multiple times a day. It must be hard or it might not
well,
be. Sorry, I don't know. But you know what I mean? Like they do have to, and I'm being serious because I
Jen,
have
I hope it's hard because if it's not, you don't have a show.
well no, but I'm sure that it would be difficult for and I'm
Yes,
being dead
yes.
serious, I'm being dead serious. No, but in all seriousness,
So
that might be very
no,
difficult thing,
like it. Maybe
right?
they take. Do you think they take some medicine first, like
I don't know.
Viagra or whatever?
I don't know.
They got to. They've got. But I'll tell you too. Okay, so the bed revolves. It's on stage. So it's
Right,
like a circular bed.
right.
And so you see every angle. So it's like I'm there, right?
Huh?
I'm pretty sure I had beer. And so I'm like this.
I'd be like this. Let me see. Hold on. Um, no, no, we
So
did not go, and we walked past one, but we did not go.
so I went and it was an experience and I am glad that I did it. One thing I learned is that every couple on stage
Yes.
is a real life couple.
Oh, I love that. Okay, well, I'm okay with that.
Oh my God, I love it. What was that?
Oh, that is beautiful.
Right?
Yes.
So, anyways, I don't know. Maybe Georgia wants to see something beautiful, some love.
I'm not going to ask her until she gets back because I don't want to put that in her mind. But when we went, we did walk down the red light district and we did see a man who was trying to promote ticket sales. And he was outside and we walked by and we
Was he
thought,
buff and like
he's
hot?
like, and he said, "Do you want to come and see the show?" And I looked at my husband and he goes, "Do you want to go see the show?" And I said, I go, "No." I said, "It's okay." Like I didn't think I could. So I said, "No, no, no, it's okay." And he said, "Are you sure?" And I go, and I looked at my husband and he goes, "It's a really good show." And I went, "Oh." We did not go.
Oh
We
my
didn't go.
God.
And I'll tell you why. I mean, I think I mean it's something that's there and people
Yeah.
go, but there's more to Holland than that. Like
There
there's
is.
so
Okay,
much
there is
beauty in Holland. But
there's so much.
yeah, and we had our kids with us and they were young and they were just down the street with Oma at a cafe.
Yep.
The whole thing just seemed wrong. And I said, "No, it's okay." And we walked by.
No, but there is more to it than the coffee shops
The
and the
bikes,
live sex shows. The bicycles are
beautiful.
amazing. Oh, one other thing though.
Huh?
Did you know that when you go through the red light district, did you walk through that at least or
Oh,
no?
I did, yep.
Okay. When I started to walk through, I was like, whoa, I'm like, no offense, but these aren't like the beautiful women that I thought that I would see. And I was there with a tour guide. And she looked at me, she goes, Pina, that's because we're in the cheap area. As we continue to walk, the prices go up and the girls get better looking. Right? So
My gosh.
now you know. Now you know. And they have beautiful
I did
tulips
not
there.
it was so long ago, and I think I have brain fog because of menopause. I don't really remember a lot of things, and I'm like, "Oh, let me think." You're not there
Yeah.
yet, Pina, but I know we don't have a lot of
No.
time. There was something I did
No.
talk about, but we'll have to save it for another time. But
Oh
it
my
was,
God. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hold on. Does that mean that you're going to be back on with me?
yeah, we'll do this again at some point.
Oh
We'll
my God.
we'll we'll talk about what we're wearing, so we're gonna wear different things.
Okay, why do we always, this is not the first time that Jen and I have done this.
No.
And I was going to do a red lip, but decided to go with like, just a light pink, which looks like I'm not wearing anything on camera,
Yeah.
but I am. I did put in
So
some
let's not
effort.
talk about it now, another time, but we'll
That's what we're going
talk
to do.
about the Pearl Jam concert that we went to.
We
And
do
we'll
need to
talk
talk about
about what
that.
happened at the Pearl Jam concert and how the whole night transpired. Because I think, and I know this is a podcast, but you also do video, that we need to show a little bit of video because we didn't realize that we had something on video
Until after the fact.
until after the fact. And I kept phoning you all night because I was so upset about something that happened. And then I got it. And I went, "You're not going to believe this." I sent you the video. We slow-moed it and we found something on the video. We've never talked about it. Like,
No,
and
never. And we will. We will have to talk about it.
we
And you
will.
heard it here first. Jen is going to come back because,
Yes.
Jen, you're not that mom either, right?
So what does that mean? I'm not that mom.
It can mean whatever you want it to mean. We're not going to put like a definition around it. It's something you feel. You're like, you know what? I'm not that mom, and I'm okay with it. Thank you so much for listening. I'm Pina Crispo, and I'm not that mom.